illegal stipulations in it because I want to take my team to the Nationals that year. I had been building that team for fucking 5 years. It was ready. It was ripe. I had the best fucking team in the country by far. I was going to win policy, public forum, Lincoln Douglas, and Congress a clean sweep of all 4 debate events. And I took a $12,000 pay cut to be allowed to stay for the rest of the year, to do the same job, because she had me bent over, basically. It was like, well, Eric, you want to be able to take the team. What Kimball, the INTP, did, the smart thing, is look and discover that the day before, or 2 days before, I signed that new contract. She had put up the ad for my replacement on Craigslist. She knew she was never going to let me see the end of the year, no matter what I stipulated to. But she lied to my face about it and maneuvered to get me in a position where when she did fire me, she'd be able to do it with cause. So she added all these stipulations about what reasons why she could fire me. So then she tried to get me to miss a deadline. She'd throw random little tasks at me all fucking hours of the day and night and give me short turnarounds on it for a full week. Until I said at the end of that week, I'm like, okay, well, because I was working from home at this point. And I mean, I wasn't working from home. I was doing my normal hours at the office when I had classes to teach and shit. And I was doing emails and shit from home in the morning, which was, in her mind, a fucking travesty of some sort. Anyway, the woman tried to set things up to fucking get me to miss the deadline, but I was aware she was going to be doing that, and I fucking made every single one of them. So she couldn't fire me on a normal timescale and not breach contract. She had to have some reason to fire me. And so she fired me on the grounds of I brought the company into ill repute because, and the only evidence she had for this, of me putting the company in ill repute, it was quotations from my emails to her, internal emails between her and me. And she said this was behaving in a way to put the company in ill repute, meaning I had publicly embarrassed the company somehow, which made no sense at all. And in fact, the only way that the thing became public at all was her doing when she went over my head to go talk to the league fucking president and try to avoid paying, talk to the league vice president of that league to try to avoid paying me, the league president, the money, even though all I was doing was being the league president and I was her fucking director. This woman did everything in her power to make it impossible for me to make money after she fired me. She had all the stipulations of the contract to remove me from working with Kudos kids in the future. And most importantly, she intentionally fired me right after the second semester started, after she collected all the checks from all the parents who were expecting to be paying for me. And then she told them all that I had moved away.
Yeah. Piece of shit person.
That was my reward for completing the 460 whatever page curriculum thing that did 2 levels of survey class for grades like 5 through whatever. And then the thing is a piece of TE genius, this curriculum. The whole thing, like each one of the survey classes, I built the whole fucking program. I'm the architect of everything that happened over there. It was one of the top 5 programs in the country for like 4 or 5 years running under my direction. And she fired me because I didn't want to go have to sit in the office in the morning and answer emails, but I could do it just easily from home where I could smoke. So fuck that woman.
Fuck that woman. Indeed. What's wrong with people like that? Like, what was she? I don't know what that was, but that's not normal in any way.
She's super schemy. And this is the thing, I don't know why, but the thing is, when she wasn't scheming against me, she was always telling me about some nonsense that she was theorizing about. Like, I bet you he did this to cheat. That's why they won. No, they won because they won that tournament. I don't know. They just won it. It wasn't. We could have won it. We lost that round. I don't know. Seemed fair enough. The judge didn't seem to be fucking us that bad. It's just sometimes shit crumbles that way. We don't win every goddamn tournament. It's not a conspiracy. There's no people fucking scheming about this. She's always thinking people are scheming against her. Why? Because she's such a schemer, I guess. You know? Schemers think people scheme.
I know what you mean.
But I mean, some of my heated rhetoric about it is obviously hyperbolic. I have actually got her pretty good already in a lot of ways. Because, I won the first elementary tournament after she fired me. And she did not expect that. She did not see that coming at all. She didn't think I was going to be there. So that was pretty fucking satisfying. I wish I had been a little less intense about the whole thing at the time. I was a little intense. I was a little upset about it. I made a kind of a scene and stuff, It's like, I wish I hadn't made a scene, but...
Did you shout at her?
Yeah, I shouted at her, but it was a bad...
What did you say?
Well, okay, the thing was, I did not go out of my way to find her and shout at her about shit. I went in to help solve a problem in a room where the teams were running this. They thought they had the wording the resolution a little bit off, and so each of them thought the other side was backwards. It's like Af thought Af was Neg, and Neg was Af. Neg thought Af, and so they were ended up running the same side against each other. So I basically had to tell them, okay, this is the actual wording, so that means you are the ones who are wrong. You need to use your other case, not this case. It's elementary, so mistakes like this happen. You're using the wrong case, you need to use this case. That's why you guys are on the same side, because you have a different wording in the resolution slightly. So that's what I was going in to deal with it. And I told them basically you have to restart this round because they had just started and they had gotten to the second constructive and they realized, hey, we're both reading the same side. What should we do? So I went in there to deal with that. But turns out she was in that room. One of her teams, my former teams that I had been coaching just not that long before, was competing in the round, and she didn't like me coming in and solving the problem because it afforded me legitimacy at this tournament that wasn't my tournament. It was like the LaSalle Elementary tournament. And I mean, but the thing being, of course, I had set it up, but then Ralph took it over, and it was weird. But I was there anyway because I already registered. So, I mean, but as far as going and dealing with problems like that, it's at every single tournament I go to that has, it's either elementary or middle school, it's either a league thing or whatever, people will consistently expect that of me, that I'm going to go solve problems like that because there are a limited number of people who really know what's going on at the tournament and can handle shit properly and can make decisions, can say like, okay, yes, you should restart the round, judge, blah, 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 this is how we're doing it. Well, who are you? I'm League Vice President Eric Strauss. I'm the coach of the school, and I speak for the league when I say blah, 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 blah. It's like you got to do that kind of shit a little bit. So she didn't like that, and she said, no, we get a tournament. Get the tournament director here. We don't want to listen to him, blah, 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 blah. And then she played this game where I said, at first, I just turned around and walked out, and then I didn't get down to where I was going, which was to get the person. I turned around and went back and started fighting with her at that point. So, at first, my first instinct, I actually just said, I turned around and walked out, but I couldn't make it very far before I turned right back around. I went in there and said, listen, why are you interfering with the progression of this round? And then she started yelling. I said, we need to take this out in the hall. There are parents and kids here. You are a criminal. You are a scumbag. I started in with that stuff. And then I got taken aside by the LaSalle school people, and they're like, she won that battle because I made a scene, and she had them thinking I was some sort of disgruntled ex-employee or something. which, it's like that shit pisses me off, right? Oh, you're going to win the framing battle now, huh? Okay, well, fuck you because that's my bad, but fuck you. So, yeah. She's an awful person. I was going to tell me that big. But she tried, this was a mistake. She tried to parlay that shit into making amendments to the league quote unquote honor code, which she's like, okay, this is our opportunity. Because Eric did that, I'm going to propose all these changes to the honor code that prohibit him from speaking at tournaments about us or to me or about us. And so she tried to put this shit in place, fucking blew up in her face because she couldn't come out directly in the first place and say, the reason we need these is because of Eric. If she had said that in the first place, we would have been in a much stronger position, but she didn't do that. She tried to position it as a general thing, we kind of need these things that are especially tailored to stop Eric from talking, but we're not going to mention any of that stuff. And so I attacked them on their merits, and of course they seemed ridiculous. And so then they came back, she and Ralph put their brains together and came back with a thing that did address me. But at that point, it was too late because I said, oh, you want to address me? And I wrote a fucking 25-page thing, put out the lead first. So that was enough to put an end to her fucking shenanigans. But it still offends me that she tried. And I want to see it in her face. I want to see the pain. So that I know that she knows that she lost. I want to see her say, I lost to you. You were way better than me the whole time. Everything I said to you, everything you said to me, Eric, was right. You told me, you said, Laura, you're fucking with the wrong guy. And you were right, Eric. I was fucking with the wrong guy. Here you have destroyed my soul, and I can see defeat. That seems fair.
Yeah, she deserves whatever comes her way.
Now you make me feel like a bad person.
Why?
I don't know. I just felt, all of a sudden I felt like, God, you're mean. Why? Because you didn't push back against it. If you had said, Eric, you're being mean, I'd be like, fuck that bitch. If you're like, fuck that bitch, I'm like, we should maybe be nice to her.
No, you shouldn't be nice to that person, that's for sure.
I won't be nice to her, but I do accept that her punishment should end short of death.
Short of that.
Yes, her punishment is less than death. What I really wanted to do at the time, I couldn't figure out a way to do it, but I wanted to get her deported. She's not a citizen. So that would have been great. Just to get her deported, I could have gone to the airport. I could have, even if I could have bought a ticket to like someplace that get me into the terminal at least, so I could stand there. Yeah, exactly, and have a sign, "Bon voyage, Laura." Enjoy your trip back to China.
So that's where the hate for Chinese people comes from.
Actually, she's Taiwanese. Actually, I said China, but I should have said Taiwan. And no, I like Chinese people. Fine. I like Taiwanese people. Fine too. What I don't like are PRC nationals, People Republic of China nationals, and their stupid fucking comments on my China Taiwan videos. That's what I don't like because they're arguing badly. They are. They're doing a terrible job of it. Have you seen those comments?
No.
The basic argument is, well, a long time ago, the United States did something like this, so therefore it's okay for us to do it now. And you go, what? First of all, I don't think it was a good thing that the United States did that. And second of all, if the United States jumped off a cliff, would you?
Yeah, it's dumb. You are the United States. You are not the person. Let's reduce you.
They like to use the term self-interested as an insult.